What's up in War Eagle, everybody? It's your guy, Ike Jones, and we are back. It's another Facts and All Friday. We're kicking this off Cal style. Let's get straight to it. Y'all know how we do right here. War Poor style. Just drop it on them.
You are now listening to the War Report. Drop.
Morning drop. It is Friday, September the 6th, and y'all know we are in here brought to you by the good folks over at the Rogue Shop. Make sure that you head over there, use code FREEZE5 when you do. That gets you 20% off of your purchase at rogueshop.com, America's #1 online dispensary. That is the Rogue Shop. And we are in here checking in on a Facts or Not Friday. Today, I've got my guy, Dustin Smith from the Up Tempo podcast in here with me. Dustin, how we feeling?
Feeling good, buddy. I can't wait to wake up in the morning and head up to Auburn, man.
Yeah, looking forward to this game where the rubber meets the road, man. It's just time to prove that either A&M was that bad or Auburn's that good. I think we're going to find a lot of answers out really quickly in this one. But let's get into this one, Facts or Nah style. You know how we do it, Facts or Nah. We're going to start it off talking a little defense in this one. And I'm going to ask the question for you, Dustin, facts or nah? Auburn has 3 or more sacks in this game versus Cal.
I'm going to go facts here. I'm going to go facts because, you had 3 obviously last week versus Alabama A&M, and I just think that the Auburn defense is going to be successful on first and second down. I think that Cal's going to Jay Knott's going to try to play. I think they're going to try to establish a run with him, and I think it's going to be more of the same for Cal as it was last year. I think that we're going to get up there with Eugene, stop the run, force them into third and long, and I think that Cal putting Mendoza in third and long against that Jordan-Hare Stadium crowd, I just think it spells disaster for them. Their wide receiver core is banged up. They've got 3 stars and offensive linemen that are banged up. I know that Cal's kind of they keep the injuries close to the vest, so we don't know if they're going to play or not. But even if they do play, how healthy are they? And even if they were completely healthy, Ike, I just think that this is a bad matchup for Cal. So I'm going to go facts.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to go facts on this one as well for a lot of the reasons that you just stated. I think the Cal offensive line, even if they do get some of their starters back, they're not going to be 100% healthy, or they won't have had the ability to really gel together the way that they need to. That coupled with what I know DJ Durkin is going to do to try to get after the quarterback there in Mendoza. And I just believe in some of these guys up front and their ability to win one-on-one matchups. And I think DJ Durkin does a good job of getting his guys into one-on-one matchups that they can win. So I'm looking forward to seeing some wins up there, even though I do think that Mendoza, the quarterback there, has the ability to scramble. Listen, if I were a betting man, and I don't often bet, I would say that Mendoza is not as athletic as Sam Jackson, who is now a wide receiver for Auburn. And Auburn had no issues getting to Sam Jackson last year in a defensive scheme that wasn't nearly as aggressive as what Cal is going to see this year under DJ Durkin. Put me down for 3+ sacks again in this game for Auburn. We can go ahead and book that facts.
Yeah, and to that point, they used the Rodgers kid, the other quarterback, as kind of a different pace guy, and use him for the quarterback run plays. So to your point that Mendoza is just not that athletic, I think that Auburn defense can get after him.
Yeah.
My question for you, facts or nah, Rivaldo Fairweather has a bounce back game and finds the end zone, gets a touchdown.
You know what? I'm gonna go facts on this one. He should have had a touchdown in the first game. Peyton Thorne underthrew it a little bit, right? But I think in this Cal game, you're going to see Cal put some trust in their linebackers and in their slot DBs or safeties to try to match up with Rivaldo Fairweather because they're going to be concerned about what Auburn's going to want to do in the run game. And that's going to give Valdo some opportunities. And I think that this coaching staff wants to get him a little redemption in this game from having the drop and the almost touchdown in the first game. I think Cal's going to give opportunities for Valdo to come through, and he's going to do it in this game. I'm going to go facts.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to go facts as well. And I believe that, facing a little bit of a tougher defense than Auburn faced last week, you're going to be in the red zone more. It's going to be not as many as explosive plays.
Mm.
And I agree with you. Redemption. Like he saw all those young guys eat last week, all those young guys get touchdown. And I'm sure when they played that one back in film, he felt like there was two that he should have had. So I think that they're going to go to him. And I think he's going to come down with it. I think Rivaldo's going to have a big week, man. I think he's going to have some receptions, some yardage, and I think he finds the end zone. I think he has a good game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a Rivaldo breakout game in the second game of the season here. All right, question number 3 here. We're going to stick with the passing game a little passing game theme here and say facts or nah, Auburn has at least one receiver with 100 or more yards this game versus Cal.
I'm gonna say nah on this one. And I think I'm gonna say nah a whole lot this season when it comes to this question. I just think that you saw it last week. There's a lot of weapons, and Auburn's gonna use all of them. I think Lambert Smith's gonna have some catches. I think, like I said, just Rivaldo's gonna have his. Cam Coleman, Perry, they're going to get theirs. You got to use Malcolm Simmons at this point, right? So there's just a lot of guys out there. You still got options like Jeremiah Cobb in the backfield. You can use Darquez out of the backfield. So I just see a whole lot of guys that are going to catch some passes. And I still think that I think you're going to see Auburn be a lot more run heavy this week than they were last week. So, yeah, I don't think anybody gets over 100, but I think you have multiple guys get over 40, 50 yards.
Mm. Well, you know what? I swear we didn't compare notes here, but I am going to go nah on this one as well because of a lot of the stuff that you just talked about. I do think that the run game factors in more heavily into the game plan this week. And to your point, there's just so many different guys that Auburn can get the football to. I think they're going to allow, or the game plan is going to be to allow Cal to dictate where the ball is supposed to go, right? Now, I will say this, Peyton Thorne does have a tendency sometimes to lock in on certain guys pre-snap, but I do think that pre-snap lock-in is not going to be a particular person. It's just going to be a matchup he chooses at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be different guys in different situations. So I don't think it's going to be force feed the ball to Cam Coleman, force feed the ball to Rivaldo. I think a lot of different guys in a lot of different scenarios, and because of the more balanced attack with run and pass, I don't think anybody goes over 100 in this game. I'd love for this one to be wrong. I would love to be wrong on this one and
Right.
see somebody go crazy during this game. But right now, though, I am going to go nah on this one.
All right.
Before we get over into this next one, though, we got to take a quick break and talk about the other people who helped make this happen today. And that's the good folks over at Joy Mode. Make sure that you all hit up Joy Mode at tryjoymode.com. And let's call out the obvious. Everyone wants to head into the bedroom with confidence, feeling like the best version of themselves. But the problem is sometimes our thoughts get in the way of our performance, or maybe we feel like we're just not reaching our full potential. What are your options? Pick up a sketchy gas station pill or get prescribed drugs with a long list of side effects. But that's where Joy Mode comes in. Imagine a supplement you can take like your favorite greens packet that gives you that extra dose of confidence and saves you the embarrassment and hassle of traditional erection pills. Make sure that you all head over to joymode.com. Use code rapport. That gets you 20% off plus free shipping when you do that. Joymode.com, 20% off plus free shipping. And if you're doing your thing out there, your partner will thank you for the little cheat code we're giving you. But speaking of cheat codes, let's get back into things about this Auburn offense, right? And see if there are any cheat codes that we can get out here. Dustin, I'll let you kick off the next one that we have
And
here.
so, question number 4, facts or not, Ike? Peyton Thorne goes over 300 yards passing on the day.
Ooh, this one is a tough one for me. I thought about this one, and I am going to go. I'm gonna go facts. I'm gonna bug a little bit on this one. I
Okay.
think I think he does it in this one because we talked about all the multiplicity of weapons that Auburn's gonna have out there. I think early in this game, Cal is going to dare Peyton Thorne to throw the football, and when those wide receivers do win those one-on-one battles, because I expect that they will, they're going to figure out, okay, we need to play this straight up. And then the run game's going to go crazy. And then the play action stuff is going to be there for him. And the RPO stuff is going to be available. I think that he will creep back up over 300 yards in this one. That's a slight bug because I think the more realistic number is probably somewhere around 250. But I'm a bug a little bit for PT just because I need to see it. Plus they're at home. And last week versus UC Davis, they gave up like 220 something. So Peyton Thorne, you can do better than UC Davis did. Get him to 300 this week. I'll go facts for you.
I hope you're right, but I'm going to go with nah on this one. And I think the number is going to be around 265 to 270 for
Yeah.
Peyton Thorne on Saturday. And I think that we're going to be able to run the ball for well over 150 yards. And I agree with you. Cal's going to say, hey, I dare you to throw it, because what are their other options? Like, it's Cam Coleman and Malcolm Simmons and Perry. We're excited about these guys, but if you're Cal, you've got to say, hey, they're freshmen, and if you beat us with them, then you beat us with them. But you got to force Auburn to do that and make Auburn show you that the hype is real. You know that 27 can eat. Cal knows that Damari can eat. They know what Jeremiah can do. So they're going to try to stop that. And I think that Auburn's going to be able to come out and air the ball out and do their thing. But yeah, I just don't think it gets to 300. I think because I think that as Cal adjusts, then Auburn will just be able to go to the run. I think the Jarquez is going to go for 100 on the day. I think Auburn has a good day on the ground. So I think Peyton Thorne has a nice, clean, efficient day, but I'm going to go nah on over 300 yards. Comes
Not
close, though.
mad at it. Not mad at it at all. All right. This one, I don't know where you're going on this one, but we're gonna ask it. Facts or nah, Auburn wins the turnover battle this Saturday versus Cal.
I'm going to go facts. I'm going to go facts on this one, and I kind of think Auburn has to. Look, you lost the last one. The last game you lost the turnover battle 2-0, and the two they kind of didn't even feel that serious because of the situation. You were up by like 60 when they happened, right? So everyone kind of pays attention to them, but it can't happen again. And it can't happen in this game. If Auburn, what's the spreads at like 13 and a half,
Mhm.
as the week's gone on, you kind of heard all the predictions come in, and everyone, even from the Cal side, is saying, look, Auburn should win this game by double digits. So that being said, man, Auburn, I want to see Auburn do that. I want to see Auburn handle the hype that they have. And you're going to have to come out there and protect the football. And I don't want us to develop bad habits either, right?
Yeah.
Like, even if you win the game and you lose a turnover margin, I would look at it and go, that's two games in a row to start the season at home where you didn't win the turnover battle. So, I don't think it's perfect. I don't think it's going to be perfect. I do think that look, we're playing a lot of young guys on offense, and even guys like Lambert Smith. You're still working in new receivers, so I think Auburn will commit a turnover a Saturday, but I think that we force more than one on Cal. I think that what you saw last week from the Auburn defense was very, very vanilla. You played a whole bunch of guys. I think DJ is going to turn it up, and like I said on one of the earlier questions there, I believe that Cal's going to be in third and long, and I think you maybe see a sack fumble, definitely a couple interceptions. So I like the Auburn defense to get two, maybe three turnovers Saturday.
Mm. I would love to see it, but I'm gonna disagree and go nah on this one. We were in such lockstep on the first three, and these last two we've gone in different directions, which is okay. I'm good with the but it makes it a little bit better actually. But the reason I say that is I just DJ Durkin's defenses traditionally have not been really big turnover generating
Mhm.
defenses, and Cal's defense has been under Wilcox. So I think that Cal may win the turnover battle. I'm hoping when I say this that that means Auburn only turns the ball over one time and Cal doesn't turn it over at all. But I just haven't seen a lot of mistake free football so far from Auburn, and that's not just this season. I'm just saying in general over the last 2 years, and I've seen Cal force a lot of turnovers defensively. So I think that that trend is going to hold true again in this game. Hopefully, it's not four turnovers like it was last year at Cal, because I don't think you can
No,
weather that storm again.
no,
But
God, no.
I'm hoping it's just one turnover, and Auburn just does a good job of not even allowing that turnover to turn into points. But I'm going to go nah on this one.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, last question we have, Ike. Facts or nah? Jarquez takes one to the house. Big play, 35-yard touchdown run for Jarquez or longer.
I think I'm going to go nah on this one. And the reason I'm going to go nah is because I think the way that Cal is going to attempt to defend the run is
Mhm.
going to be a lot of eyes towards the football, not a lot of uh, though they might try to, force him to throw the ball. I think they're going to be trying to zone up on the back end, and I don't think Quez gets loose for any long runs on this one. I don't see him going into like cover one or cover zero stuff very often, far away from the end zone. So maybe he gets, a 20-yarder, something like that, but I just don't know that they're gonna let him loose from that far away. I'm trying to think what the longest run was in the game last year, and I feel like it was a Damari Alston run that actually ended up in him getting injured, or that's when he got knocked
Yeah.
out of the game on the play. And the only other long run was the Brian Battie run that got called back from a holding penalty. So, um, I think Cal plays the run fairly well. I think Auburn's going to run the ball effectively. I just don't know that we're going to see any big plays in the run game out of Jarquez, just because I feel like the Cal defense is going to be on high alert. Jarquez is in the game. All eyes are going to be on him. I will give this caveat. I do think that one of the other running backs busts a long one. I don't know if it's for a touchdown, but I do think that a big play is going to happen from one of the other running backs in this game.
Okay, I hear you. I'm gonna go with Nah on this one as well, Ike. I'm gonna go with Nah for the last part of your answer there. I think it's gonna be one of the other guys. I could easily see Jeremiah Cobb busting off a big play because they're focused on 27. I could see Peyton Thorne busting off
Mm,
a big long
I didn't
run.
even think about that one, but yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I think he maybe is more likely to get a 35-yard touchdown run than Jarquez is. I think, like I said, in one of the other ones, I think Jarquez has over 100 yards. I think we're gonna be able to run the ball effectively. It's just 35, that's a long touchdown run.
It
So,
is.
that's a big number, and so I just don't see Auburn doing that. They're gonna be focused on 27. Cal's coming in. You gotta think they are anyway. They're coming in saying, "You can beat us with anybody else. We're not gonna let Jarquez Hunter and your running game eat." So, yeah, I just think, when it comes to like these receivers and these running back, all these guys getting to these big numbers, I think that the good problem that Auburn has is you got a lot of guys that need the ball, man. So yeah, I like Jarquez to get in the end zone, just not from 35 yards.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is going to do it for us on another Facts or Not Friday. Appreciate my guy Dustin Smith jumping
Yeah,
in
man.
with us. Dustin, in case they don't know, how can they keep up with all the good things that you got going on?
Yeah, follow us over there at the Uptempo podcast, man. We're dropping Auburn content every single day, doing big things over there.
Absolutely, absolutely. You guys can make sure that you tap in with us. Also, make sure that you lock in with the sponsor of the morning drop. That is Rogue Shop. Head over to rogueshop.com. Use code FREEZE5 when you do. That gets you 20% off at America's #1 online dispensary. That is the Rogue Shop. Whether you have an issue with sleep, stress, pain, anxiety, relief is for you right at the Rogue Shop. Again, use code FREEZE5 when you go over there. Before you get out of here, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and go ahead and share the content with somebody. We will be back at you tomorrow morning on game day, talking a little bit more about this game before we get into it. Until the next time, and as always, War Eagle.